with this Tuesday being Fat Tuesday, traditionally the last day we can splurge with the calories before Lent, we decided to check in with Father Brian McGrath, the pastor of St. Mary's in Lee, for some Lenten inspiration and to see what's cooking with him and his chickens. Well, it's so nice to be with you here today, Father Brian, at St. Mary's in Lee in this February snowy weather that we've been having all winter long. But we have a good hearty meal to kick off Lent before Lent starts, right?
And we were thinking, Lent is around the corner. Of course, the three big things of Lent are prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And we thought, before we jumped into it, we'd do something a little bit special before we started Lent.
Yeah. So prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Tell us about what folks typically do during Lent, Catholics and Christians.
Well, as we know, Lent begins, and it's going to be a fun day because it begins on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, of all days.
But the three big ones are prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And really, it's a worthwhile thing for the 40 days of Lent that approach to think about what can I do in my prayer life, whether it be make an extra effort to go to daily Mass or find an adoration chapel where you could give time to God to just be quiet before the Eucharist. Or even if you just your own personal time, find some personal prayer. And I think most importantly, especially families, to carve out the time to pray as a family. I think we really do ourselves a wonderful gift if we can take the time as a family, even before meals or before you go to sleep at night, to say a little prayer together. Fasting is the other one. We're only required during Lent to fast 2 days, Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. And the fast is meant for those between the ages of 18 and 59.
Okay.
Of course, anybody can fast, but we especially want to watch ourselves with dietary restrictions or elderly or the young children. Make sure they're eating the right stuff. And then the third thing is works of mercy or works of charity. And I really think that, especially in this time of Lent, we need to focus on those who don't have. And so whether it be taking on a special charity in your area, we have special collection bins at our entrances of our church to bring a canned good. You know the needs and ask God to open up to you what's a work of charity. It could be a neighbor in need and you make a special effort during this season of Lent to go over for a meal or a cup of coffee or something special.
So we're going to be making a giant meatball, I guess, right?
So everyone loves spaghetti meatballs, but I thought here's Lent right around the corner. Let's make our spaghetti meatballs a little bit special. So we've done this giant meatball in my family for a while, and it's just kind of a fun thing because it just takes what we like to have and makes it a little bit special.
And it's an Italian tradition?
Yeah, I think it's mostly out of my Italian side.
Yeah.
The Irish definitely don't do some of this stuff, but yeah.
And we have some chicken eggs from your chickens.
So we'll meet the chickens, I think, in a little while. But,
we'll go out and see them.
So to do the meal, we need some hard-boiled eggs, already peeled. We have our ground pork and ground beef, some breadcrumbs and water, a couple of regular eggs, peppers and mushrooms and onions that are chopped up, and some spices. I like basil and salt and pepper.
All right. Well, sounds good. What do we start with here?
So I start by cracking a few eggs into a bowl.
And how many chickens do you have?
So I have 6 chickens, and they're just about 9 months old, so they're still laying eggs.
Yeah.
I add a little bit of water, about a quarter cup, and a whole cup of breadcrumbs. So we'll just mix that up so that it's kind of evenly mixed. So now we're going to just fold in our ingredients. So some pork.
How much is that, about a pound?
About a pound.
Okay.
Some beef. We'll do some peppers.
Green peppers.
And the mushrooms.
And onion.
Yeah. And a little bit of spice. So we're just going to mix this up. And this is a fun thing to do with kids because kids just love to get messy.
Oh, yeah. It's like playing in the sandbox.
You don't want to over mix it too much, but I do want it all incorporated so that it's pretty evenly mixed. So see how it's evenly mixed?
Yep.
So we'll take a break and we're going to shape it now.
Okay.
So we've cleared off our workspace And I'm going to make you, or have you, do the giant meatballs. Look at the size of that meatball. That look big?
That looks
So I want you to shape it into a
okay.
meatball shape. And I'll make another one, just so we have 2 meatballs.
Could you put some cheese in here if you wanted?
Yeah, that's always good. Another way to make this is like a meatloaf. And those would be delicious as they are. What we're going to do is we're going to hide an egg inside this.
Oh, you're going to cover the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Don't watch now. It's a secret.
Well, what's interesting is sometimes, like the first time we did this with family and they didn't know it was coming, that when you slice into it, they'll know. But
Oh, yeah.
they come by and like, what's the giant meatball about? Ta-da!
Okay, this looks
So what
really
we're going
good.
to do is put this in the oven.
At what's the temperature?
So I've got it at 375.
Yeah.
We'll leave it in there for about 50 minutes.
Okay, we'll tell Alexa to 50 minutes, Alexa.
Set the timer.
Wow, you have a great coop here, Father Brian.
Yeah, I built it with all the scraps from around the parish and lots of wonderful donations by wonderful people. So well, we've had chickens here for a bunch of years. This is a new batch. So these are Orpingers, and they're about 8 months old. And so they are in the prime of life. They're having a blast.
And you keep them nice and warm in the coop in the
Yeah,
up there. They have a heater.
They're a little bit upset about having to come out for some bread, but they, you know, one of the great things about having chickens, I think, though, like I have almost no scraps that go down a garbage chute or anything.
Wow, that's
and then
great.
with the school, I'll even get, like when they prep the school lunch, the salad bar, I'll get the scraps from that and give them.
And no roosters, right?
No roosters. That's a town regulation.
Really?
in town.
Oh.
Well, the noise. You know, if you're out in the woods, you could have roosters.
Well, very nice. Let's go in and check out the meatloaf.
All right.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good in here, Father Brian. Let's see what we have in the oven.
Like we're ready.
Oh, that looks amazing. Wow. So the eggs kind of broke up.
They
Came
came
out.
out.
They came out of their little
that,
houses.
That's okay. But this is the fun part, the serving. So what we do,
So you made a little pasta,
a little marinara.
like slices. Oh, nice. Wow. This is going to be so good to kick off Lent.
Right?
You're so busy. You have three churches, right? A school,
2 cemeteries.
2
2
cemeteries,
rectories.
2 rectories,
And the chickens.
and the chickens.
For you?
Thank you. All right. Happy Lent.
Yes. Bon appetito.
Bon appetit. Oh. So good. Love it. I can taste all the peppers and the onions in here. I like how you have them in larger chunks so you can really
Yeah.
get the flavor of each individual bite. As always, Father Brian's cooking leaves our mouths watering.